Here's a subject we all love to talk about. We all love, no, I would say we all love to hate it, but we actually just plain hate it. And if you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what you're watching. I don't know what headspace you're in. But honestly, week after week after month after year, it seems the divas just do not improve. They do not get over with the fans. They just keep coming in to silent crowds. They play to silent crowds, and they leave to cheers of, yes, this match is over, or this segment is over. And uh, you can tell who is actually cheering for the divas in the crowd just by how they sound. It's usually the kids and maybe some of the women. You know, the people who are there for the actual wrestling and for the actual entertainment are not there for the divas. These people do not care about Total Divas. They do not care about that, horse shit, soap opera, reality show, whatever they want to call it. They don't care. You know, basically, these girls put on performances that are extremely yawn worthy. And honestly, tonight during Raw, I actually took an extended break when AJ and Paige came out, and it's like, oh, a tag match? Yeah, I'm taking a break. And I left the room. I think I stayed gone for a good 15 minutes or so, and when I came back, I noticed that I think it was, no, it was the Wyatt match. That's right. It was Bray Wyatt versus Big Show, which is probably going to be a match at Night of Champions. So anyway, the Divas, as far as I'm concerned, they cannot get over no matter what they try, no matter what they do. Um, Stephanie McMahon certainly didn't do them any favors by getting herself involved and throwing the Bellas in with the AJ Page storyline. Smashing those two things together just doesn't make any sense at all, and it's not helping either of those two pairs of women. Those two storylines do not belong together, and there's no point in putting them in the same room together. Keep them as separate storylines. I mean, have some fucking faith in your product. If you're going to put it out there, keep it out there as it was meant to be. One storyline here, one storyline there, and neither of the twain shall meet. Don't cheapen it and don't make it worse by smashing them together and like you've been doing the past few weeks. It's just, it doesn't make sense and it doesn't work. um I'm not even gonna relive the Jerry Springer fiasco of last week. Again, I didn't watch it last week. I regret nothing. But anyway, the Bellas are still horrible. They're still terrible. They're still unwatchable. The melodramatic acting that they attempt, it's still awful. They're still painful to watch. I mean, I can't even begin. As far as Paige and AJ go, their backs must be broken by now trying to carry this division. They're the only two compelling characters in that sorry division. And and it's all drama. Again, they barely show off any wrestling. Those two are going to go at it Sunday, and I it should be an okay match, I guess, as long as they don't water it down, as long as they let them go. I expect that it's going to be a slow paced match, a lot of rest moves, a lot of, lightly hitting the ropes, a lot of, there are probably going to be some missed spots. I don't, I can never vouch for the um, for the coherent, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't vouch for the Divas matches being really good, really, being technically sound. I think that's what I'm looking for. Somehow, um, separately, maybe these girls have talent, but together, when they have to put it all together for a match, something just falls apart. The wheels fall off somehow, and it just becomes a hot mess, and it's not worth looking at. But all that aside, Paige and AJ, they have to carry the Divas on their own because there are no other compelling characters. There's nothing there. I mean, take Naomi and Cameron for example. Those two fail to pique anyone's interest. I mean, look at Raw tonight. They came out to silence. They did their match to silence, and you could barely get a peep out of the crowd when it was over. I mean, people just kind of gave up. They weren't even cheering that the match was over. They just kind of sat there and just went like, okay, what's next? Come on, bring on the next commercial or bring on the next shill for the network or whatever it is you're gonna do, whatever crap you're gonna throw at us. But as far as those 6 girls that I just mentioned, who is left of the Divas? Who is left? Who is really worth mentioning? You know, who does anyone really care about? Can we look at the Divas and say we really give a shit about any of them? Okay, maybe AJ, maybe Paige, but those are the only 2 that are doing anything worth paying any small amount of attention to. The rest of them, I have no clue. I really don't care one way or the other. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what's going on with them. They're all still pretty horrible, and they really truly make me look forward to Wednesday night when I can watch the TNA knockouts put on a coherent match. They can string 2 moves together without looking like they just came out of the Bush Leagues. Um, I'm sorry, the knockouts, if you can't recognize that they have it completely over the Divas, even the NXT women have it over the Divas, you can't argue with this. There's no comparison. The WWE ruins women by putting them in the Divas division, and that's just the way it is. The Divas cannot win. This is a dead end division unless WWE takes some drastic steps to improve it. I honestly don't see how it's going to happen. I really don't see when it will ever happen. But something drastic needs to change, or else, people are just going to turn their backs on it entirely. Not even for 1 or 2 personalities, but they're going to turn their backs on the entire thing. Because it's nothing but a division propped up to push a reality show on a network no one really watches.